doesn't mean I'm accepted. Just because I go to Hajj doesn't mean my Hajj is accepted. Just because I give sadaqah doesn't mean it's accepted. Just because I prayed doesn't mean my salat is accepted. Now if you go back to the hadith, it is mentioned that some people pray, and the moment they say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, then the prayer speak back to them. And the salat say to them, ضَيَّعْتَنِي ضَيَّعَكَ اللَّهُ. Oh, you person, you have misplaced me. May Allah misplace you too. That's salat talking to you. Now, not only that, you come to Hajj. How many of you we heard that our sixth Imam told his companion, Ma aktharu dajij wa aqallu al-hajij. He said, many of those people around the Kaaba saying labbaik, they're all just shouting, but they're not really saying labbaik. Very few of them are real hajjis. So when we talk about fasting, how can I prepare myself to make sure that I'm fasting a fast that will be accepted? Because remember, our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam, he said, كم من صائم ليس له من الصيام إلا الجوع والعطش. I say, many, كم, how many of those who fast and at the end they have nothing recorded except thirst and hunger. That's Imam Jafar al-Sadiq saying. Many people, they fasted, but at the end of the day, they will not be rewarded for fasting, other than, yeah, they were hungry at the morning till sunset, they were thirsty from dawn till sunset, and that's it. But it's not actually siyam that Allah wants from them. So, this is why it's very important to know how to prepare self for the actual fasting that Allah wants us to do. Now, where do we start? Now, there is a book called Iqbal al-A'mal, Ibn Tawus, A'la Allahu maqama. In that book, he talks about some of the very important preparation that one have to do. Number one, which is the beginning, he says, you have to purify the niyyah. The niyyah of fasting must be clean and clear. And then he goes to the list, which I quoted from Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. And he listed some of the intentions that people do in the month of Ramadan. And each one of them is wrong. They made a niyyah, but all of them is absolutely unaccepted. And let me give you some of them. Number one, it says, وَقَوْمٌ دَخَلُوا فِي الصِّيَامِ لِأَنَّهَا عَادَةٌ. There are people who fast because it's custom. They look at fasting as the month of custom. That's what we do. Anyway, from my childhood, when Ramadan comes, my mom fasts, my dad fasts, we all fast. So it's a custom. Imam said, this niyyah is batil. Ramadan is not a custom. So if I fast, because that's what we do, it's natural, it's normal, that niyyah is not the niyyah that you're supposed to do. That's number one. Number two, I said, وَقَوْمٌ دَخَلُوا فِي الصِّيَامِ خَوْفًا مِنَ الْكَفَّارَةِ. Some people entered in the month of Ramadan because they heard, if you don't fast, there's kafara. So for every day you don't fast, there is what? Kafarat etq raqaba, siyam shahrayn mutata. So in order not to fall into that, so let me fast. That niyyah is batil. Number three, I said, وَقَوْمٌ دَخَلُوا فِي الصِّيَامِ خَوْفًا مِنَ النَّارِ. Some people entered fasting because they heard Allah say, if you don't, there is nar Jahannam is waiting. So if you don't, you might end up in the hellfire. But this, it says, this one Allah may accept it. This one may accept it. That is one. Another one, it says, وَقَوْمٌ دَخَلُوا فِي الصِّيَامِ طَمَعًا لِجَنَّتِكَ. Some people entered in the fast hoping because they want to get Jannah. This one also, I said, Allah may accept it. And then he goes through list and list, but then at the end of it. And actually, if you look, he mentioned 10 of different niyyahs. But the last one, he says, وَقَوْمٌ دَخَلُوا فِي الصِّيَامِ لأنهم وجدوك أهلا للعبادة فعبدوك. Those who entered in the fasting, because they found Allah, He deserved to be worshipped in this way, and that's what they do. There is no anything attached to that niyyah. The niyyah is, I'm purely doing for the sake of Allah. This is the best niyyah. That if a mu'min at some point, especially tonight, because tonight is the night of we start to make our niyyah for the month of Ramadan. And then there is an option from the Maraja. You can do either this one or that one. Either one is fine. Now the first niyyah, you can make a niyyah, I'm fasting the whole month of Ramadan of 29 or 30 days, qurbatan ilallah. Now this, if you do it, then you don't have to repeat every night. Okay? Or you can do every night basis. Like tonight, I'm making a niyyah to fast tomorrow as the first day of the month of Ramadan. Then the next day, I'm making a niyyah to fast tomorrow as the second day of the month of Ramadan. The third, the fourth, on daily basis, you can do that too. But the niyyah must be qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. That is the most important thing. Remember, Al Prophet says, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. This niyyah is very important in all a'mal. That is the first thing one have to work on. Now, number two, one of the things one have to do is also from tonight to put yourself on what I call a scale. Scale of what? Scale of observation. From tonight, I'm assessing myself. Where am I today, tonight? And every day I look. Now let me give you an example. Many of you know what I'm talking about, especially those who have a business. When you have a business, sometimes they sell you a statement, right? And when the statement comes, what is that? It has a chart what tells you how much money going up and down, right? Now it tells you how roller coaster your money goes, where it goes high, when the business is lost, when it's more, when it's stable. It tells you all of that. Now a mu'min from tonight have to put yourself in that scale. Every day I have to check my progress. Where am I tonight? And by the end of Ramadan, I have to check to see where did I reach. Did I make a progress throughout? Or no, I went down. Now why this is important? Because on the night of Eid, that determines whether you deserve to celebrate or not. Imam Amir al-Mu'minin salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. What did he say in the hadith? He says, لَيْسَ الْعِيدُ لِمَنْ لَبِسَ الْجَدِيدَ إِنَّمَا الْعِيدُ عِيدٌ لِمَنْ قَبِلَ اللَّهُ صِيَامًا وَشَكَرَ قِيَامًا. Imam Ali said there are two qualities you have to observe before you can celebrate Eid or you cannot. Number one quality, to make sure that your fasting is accepted. That's the first thing. To know my fasting throughout the Ramadan is accepted. Question, how can I know my fasting is accepted? Can you text Jibreel or Raqib and Atid and say, what's up? Did Allah accept that or not? No, you don't have that way. But how can I know here that my fasting has been accepted? They say there is a way to assess that. How do I assess? when that fasting is able to make a change within me. Change for better. Like Salaat. Salaat, when do I know Salaat has made a difference? My Salaat is accepted. If Salaat is able to make a change in you. إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. Salat can make a change. So if I'm praying, but my salat didn't make any changes, I'm the same person, then there's a question on that salat. Fasting, if my fast is able to bring a change within me, then that fast is accepted. That's why Quran says, ayah 183 in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كُتِبَ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Now remember, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, al-mu'minun on this scale, right? كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Meaning fasting takes you from the marhala al-iman to the marhala al-taqwa. From one title to another title. So if you are mu'min here, you have to make sure that fasting has taken you higher and higher to that title. If I found I'm not there, then something wrong with my fasting. That is the second self-preparation for Ramadan, for successful Ramadan. To put myself on the scale of self-observation every night. That is number two. Number three, one of the also very important things in the month of Ramadan, first we say niyyah, second is self-observation, third is one have to make sure that during the days of Ramadan, I do what a prophet and Ahlul Bayt recommended. What is it? Now, many oftentimes we think fasting is all I didn't eat, I didn't drink. So from dawn till sunset, I'm fasting. But there is more than that. That's why if you go to the Maraja, how did they define fasting? They said, one, as-siyam al-imsaku an kull al-muftirat. That's what they define. Kull al-muftirat. Everything that will break your fast. Now, many of them we think is just eating and drinking. No, but that's not kull al-muftirat. It's more than that. One of them is to watch my tongue during the month of Ramadan. To watch my ears during the month of Ramadan. To watch my eyes during the month of Ramadan. To watch my hands and legs during the Ramadan. To make sure that within the month of Ramadan, every action is under watch. Let me give you an example, brothers and sisters. You know, many of us, we go to the camp. When we go to the camp, you know, what do they do in the camp? They restrict you. Right? And the camp, when you go, certain things you can't do. This month is the month you are placed in the camp of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shahrun du'itum fihi ila dhiyafatillah. Today, if you go to Sayyid Sistani's house as your guest, right? Do you wake up and do whatever you want to do in the house? I'm a guest of Sayyid, yes. But does that give me the right to do anything that I do at home? Absolutely not. I'm restricted within that limit room of being a guest of Sayyid. Allah said, in the Ramadan, you are my guest. Meaning, you are restricted to certain things. And what are the things? You have to make sure that your eyes also fast, your ears also fast, your mouth also fast, your hands are fasting, and your legs are fasting. This is the true fast. Otherwise, just not eating and drinking would not take you to that level. That is number three. Number four, one of the very important in the month of Ramadan is also which helps the month, helps your fasting, helps your spirituality, is to get closer and closer to the Quran. One of the things that make this month so holy is Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. Because Quran was revealed in this month, it gives it that honor. And you and I should take as much as advantage we can from this holy month by becoming closer and closer to the Quran. By learning it and also mastering it and also practicing it as well. That is also very important. And last not the least, is also to try to do mustahabbat that Ahlul Bayt recommended. If I want to put you in this one word, brothers and sisters, really, in American term too, right? This month is called Black Friday of Islam. This is the Black Friday of Islam. That everything is on sale. The Prophet says, أنفاسكم فيه تسبيح وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهَا عِبَادَةٌ. Your breathing is considered tasbih. Your sleeping is rewarded. Everything is rewarded. You can never find this in any month. So why not take advantage of it as much as you can? Mustahabbat is very important. Du'as, Salaat, Adhkar, Istighfar. This is the time to take advantage of it. And they help to make you get to that level of taqwa. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we get the tawfiq, Ya Rabbal Alameen, to do all what is required on us to do in this month, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, whatever we can do, help us to do so, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Whatever is beyond our capacity that you know of, Ya Allah, forgive us on those, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Ziyara is done, right?
Yeah, ziyara.
There's some leftover food. If you want to take it with you, please help yourself or let Brother Qamar Abdi know, and you can take some food home. Okay, tomorrow we're going to get together at 5 o'clock for the Quranic recitation. Those of you who are interested in taking part in Quranic recitation, please come at 5 o'clock. Brother Jamal is going to come at 4:55, inshallah. 4:55 p.m.